Hey guys, happy Monday. I'm wishing you all. I hope you're having a wonderful day and a wonderful last week. In fact, it's not even a week. We only have 4 more days of this year 2015. And in these last days, personally, I'm trying to make sure that my last year's New Year resolution is going to come together in a way. Most of my things cannot come to a to a nice end, unfortunately. But I hope you guys made better New Year resolutions, and if you didn't, like me, hopefully you'll make attainable goals for next year. But anyways, enough with the talking. Yesterday I had this bonus position, and it's a really simple position, but I thought I would go over it anyways because it's this type of endgame that we have to remember how to win. So here's the position. This is like the bonus video of the day. You see, I'm trying to be better towards the end of the year because I know time is approaching and we won't have these days anymore. So we'll have new ones, but you know. So anyways, this was the position that I showed you yesterday, a study made by Horwitz. And it's pretty simple. You have to win with white, and it's quite obvious that you can't enter with the king, so definitely you need to find ways to open up the position. And what better ways to open up the position if not playing g3? So we are actually giving away a pawn. This is a theme that is often seen in king pawn endgame. So we're just giving away the pawn for 1 second, and here comes the theme. Very famous one is that these two squares are mined squares, so whoever goes on it first is going to lose that pawn or win the game. And so white is the one who's going on it second, therefore he's going to get the pawn back. So of course black has to kind of follow this pattern, because once white gets to capture the pawn in g3, black has to take the opposition to make sure white won't have any entrance available. But of course we continue with the same idea, giving away the pawn. Now these two squares are mined squares, so white is going on it the second, and black has no square to go to keep the pawn protected, and doesn't have any moves with the pawn, any of the pawns, so he has to go king g6, now king f6, same thing is happening, king e4, and in this position, let's say black plays, he has two choices, king f7 or king e7. If black goes king f7, I believe the idea of the position was to kind of keep going till the end and actually, you know, take the pawn and now go d6, and I'm going to show you in a second how you win this. But personally, I mean, it's obvious that there's another way to win here now that the king is not in the square of this pawn. So we can just play d6 in this position, and if black captures in d6, of course we're playing c7, and black is too far from capturing the pawn. And in this position, if black tries to come king e8 to enter in front of the pawn, obviously we won't play d7 and make a very nice draw, because from here it is impossible to take black's king away out from these two squares. So this would be a draw, but obviously we are much more knowledgeable than that, so we are gonna capture in c7 and promote the next move. So this is a much simpler approach to the position, but if we really want to continue the same idea, we could by capturing in e5. Oops, I'm sorry. Black would go king e7. Now we're gonna continue the same theme, king d5. Black is gonna go king e8. King takes d6, king d8. And in this position, how do we win this? c7. King c8, and obviously not king c6, but we're actually giving away the pawn in order to be able to go get that one, because king c6 would just allow for a draw. So what we're going to play here is king e6. Black has to capture in c7. Now we play king e7. We took the opposition. Black has to go back, and now king d6. And once the king reached the file or the rank of the pawn, white is going to win this. So let's say black plays this, attacking the pawn. You have to defend it. Now king c7, king a8, and this is a theoretical elementary king-pawn endgame that everybody knows is one for white, because once the pawn is on the 5th rank, anywhere from b to g file with the king in front, the person who has that is going to win the position no matter whose turn it is. So it's quite simple. So this was the other approach of the position, but either way, the idea is to find the solution. And let's just say that black plays king e7. Now the same thing would happen, king takes e5. And if black goes king d8, with the idea when we play king e6 to play king e8, that is possible, of course, but then we are going to take the same approach, entering with the king, like circling basically behind the pawn. Black cannot play king f8 because of d6, and again we have the same pattern as before. If we take, simply c7, and if we're playing king e8, obviously not d7 but capturing in c7 and mate next move. So black wouldn't play king f8 here, he would go king d8, and this is how we are circling that position. King d7, winning the pawn and the game. So this was the endgame that I had as a bonus yesterday. It was more for the people who are more at a beginner level, who are watching my YouTube channel. So I really hope you have solved this. It was a really cute one, I think. And stay tuned for the analyzed game of our world champion Magnus Carlsen later today. Bye.